Hello, my name is Chris Waters, and today I will be discussing Louisiana versus Texas culture. I currently live in Louisiana, and from experience, I know that the two cultures have many different things about one another. Texas and Louisiana are located right next to each other, which could make some people think that both have a similar culture. But in fact, Texas and Louisiana have quite diverse cultures and things that are celebrated or done. For example, there's going to be a lot of differences in between the two, as unexpected as it seems, but there is. One is that I know is hugely different between them is cooking. Something that is celebrated, which is different from Louisiana and Texas, Mardi Gras and Texas Independence Day. Mardi Gras is celebrated all over Louisiana, but in New Orleans is where it is celebrated most. Texas Independence Day is celebrated all over Texas and is a lot more meaningful compared to Mardi Gras. This can let you know the differences between things that are celebrated in different states and distinct cultures that states have. The music in the two states also oppose music taste. Texans listen to more country music, unlike New Orleans. New Orleans does jazz and kind of jazz rap somewhere in there. In Texas, most of them are normally strictly country. This comes from an African, Louisiana's jazz music comes from an African dance and drumming that took place in New Orleans. The food that is cooked in Louisiana is more Cajun and French, like crawfish, catfish, gumbo, jambalaya, shrimp. This is a vastly different from the food in Texas. The food you mostly find in Texas can be barbecue, pork, steak, brisket, like hog, any something. Most of the time, something to do with more meat and more things that people in Texas are attracted to with barbecue. Just knowing that Louisiana and Texas have such a diverse food scheme is saying a lot. Not only is the food culture diverse, but the backgrounds also that the cultures were given when they were first recognized as states. Louisiana became a state in 1812, while Texas became a state in 1845. When they, whenever the Louisiana was bought in the Louisiana Purchase, French culture came into Louisiana and mixed with Cajun culture. Texas culture and French culture mixed with Mexico's in certain ways because they released Texas from Mexico, and it's very different because they have more of a Hispanic heritage since they came from Mexico. Louisiana and Texas are very much not alike, as you can tell, and they do not share the same culture. This is a common misconception most people have outside of Louisiana and Texas, and something that is very reasonable to get wrong considering how close and how alike the two states are. So it's very widely important to look into stuff whenever you're comparing states, because if a state's side by side, that does not mean that they have the same cultures. You can have different cultures. It's based on how your history has been, like cultures like jazz, something like that. See, that's heritage from their culture. Some people might not be attracted to jazz music, but certain people love jazz music because it's in their heritage and it's in their family history and it's in the Louisiana or state's culture, and it's not dying, and they want to keep the legacy going, the culture going. That's like Texas on Independence Day. They celebrate Independence Day. That's a culture for Texas. They continue it on and on and on because they don't want the state's culture to die down. That's like barbecue. That'll probably be the state's most popular culture. Louisiana, Mardi Gras, that's the state's culture. Nobody wants to get rid of it. It can go to a certain extent sometimes, but it's continued legacy because nobody wants to ruin the legacy and ruin the culture, because it's very important to some people that you continue cultures